Hi, today I am going to talk a bit about animation, an update on my behavior tree, and some PC stuff that I've done. So first off, what does my project look like right now? So some boxes get generated, the enemies start running to me, they start firing, they start crouching, and also they can die. Takes a bit, but they do die. Yeah, there we go. So that's a bit on the animations part. So let's start off a bit with the animations. To make an animation, it's just animation, then animation blueprint. What I have here already. So this is the start. I made two state machines. One. Then I gave it the states of idle, walk, run, crouch. Oh, whoops. So yeah, same for both. Now, why did I do this? Because I wanted to add everything inside of a locomotion catch. Now this catch essentially is a save process which you can use around. So all you have to do is catch, new save catch post, and name it whatever you want. Now this is where everything starts from. So after having that catched post, I blend these posts again. I have fire iron sight or by fire rifle by hip. Now what's the difference between both? So here, fire iron sight is like that, and fire hip is like that. So it's always one or the other. Then since I blended the poses, then I'm using that now as my true pose, and the locomotion catch is my false pose. So either one, and the slot will always be the upper body. Now what is this one? This upper body slot, I made it by using the animation, then anim slot montage, you add slot, then I named it the upper body. Then I blend both of the locomotion catch plus the upper body to get the pre-aim pose. Then I get the pre-aim pose over here. Then I make it into an an aim offset. So what an aim offset does is that it makes it do this. That's it. It makes it do that whenever you click a button. So it blends it properly. Oh. Now I blend that again with the pre-aim. So the pre-aim is this one. So you blend both of it together. So it's either true or it's false. Then it becomes the output post. Now every um every project starts with an animation starter pack. You have a lot. You can do montages, blend spaces. So what blend space does? Is you have to pick a skeleton, test. This blend space does is, so you have your asset stuff, right? You can make it jump like that. You can make it idle. Make it jump at the end, loop, start, wherever. So this is how it goes. So this is the frame rate at the bottom. So right now what I'm going to do is, if the value is 100, so its value is 100 and sorry, 0 for the X and 100 for the Y, it's going to start doing that. As it goes closer to the other end, once it reaches this part, it's going to start changing slowly. Then it just takes a bit of time, but after a while you'll eventually get the hang of it. It just takes a bit of time and trial and error. Now it does the same thing with the montages. So what I did with the montages, so I have this reload rifle iron sight. So I made that a montage. It looks better. And essentially that's it. So blend space, montage. Oh, also the offset, the aim offset. Same, pick a skeleton, and it's the same as the blend space. Now, enough on animations. Let's go to the PCG stuff. So I made a PCG. I made a procedural coder C++. So this one gets a U-static mesh component and a T subclass of actor. Then I made a ton of variables over here, which I initialized. I also create the default sub-object U-static mesh component, and I set the root component to the floor. Now over here is just two for loops to create a grid. As you can, if you remember, those those two big boxes, which is supposed to be three, but okay. So these boxes are made by those two for loops, and and the debug circle on the bottom is made by the last function, which is the place points on grid. So first I got the start, I got the top left of the box, then I get the f vector, then I times square width for the x, 0 for the y, and the grid height, which is always going to be 1 because I wanted to see the debug line. Then for the end, you get the start, so whatever this one will end, and then it gets the f vector, but this time the x is 0. The y is the room length, which I dubbed that on 1500 float, and the grid height is just 1. Then I just drew a debug line. So one is for the x-axis, one is for the x, and one is for the y. Okay. Now let's go to this one. What does this function do? The get random point in square. So it just gets a random point inside this box. A random point inside this box, which I drew a debug line on. That's it. So it's just fmath rand range upper left x, lower right x. Then over here fmath rand range upper left y, lower right y. And for here, like in the lab, it's just for loop inside of a for loop. Now to get the upper left, it's I times square width plus radius, j times square width plus radius. Then grid height for lower right, it's I times square width plus square width minus radius. Now this radius has been appearing a lot. What is this radius? This radius is to ensure that none of the circles will will never overlap each other. Because definitely, if you don't have that radius, some of the PCG stuff will overlap. Then after that, it's just a draw debug point, draw debug circle. Then I spawn the actor on the screen. Just get world spawn actor, crouch block class, random point in square. Then with the f rotator of random range 0 to 360 so that the boxes rotate. And yeah, that's it about the PCG stuff. That's it. Now for the update on the behavior tree. So right now I'm using something called EQS. What EQS does is it's an environment test. So whatever you tell it to do, for example, you wanted to find the player, so it will find the player. How? If you add those circles that are appearing, those are the ones that the behavior tree is moving the NPC AIs to. Now they're trying to move to my location. They're gonna try to find cover. They're going to shoot. That's all done inside of the behavior tree. So as I said a while ago, it first locates me, then it focuses, so it chases me. Then there's a cooldown over here. If it shoots right away. But of course, what I added here is something like an abort on itself. So it checks first if it is in cover. before it goes to the shoot from cover side. So it's gonna start here. But the reason why this is on the left is so that these goes first, but it can abort itself if it's not in cover. So the moment I am seen, it aborts this and goes all the way here. So it finds cover, it focuses me, it calls me out, it finds a cover, it gets inside cover, it loses, and it waits. Once it waits, if it is in cover, it'll this one will not abort itself. It'll go here because this one has the priority. It'll go in here and start shooting at me, like what this was shown. So it starts running to me. It's going for the circles. Then it's finding cover. So some of them are already finding cover. Some of them are already starting to shoot at me. And that's it for today. Thank you so much.